Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Antara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveda Bhaktivedanta ki jai. So I say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, then you repeat after me, yeah? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You can put this back. So today we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Chapter 2, text 62, contents of the Gita summarized. Okay. Dayeto Visayam Pumsa. Maybe. Everyone good at reciting Sanskrit? You can recite Sanskrit? You can recite? Okay, anyway. Dayeto Visayam Pumsan Sangha se supajayate Sangha sanjayate kama Kama krodha vijayate Dayeto Visayam Pumsa Sangha se supajayate Sangha sanjayate kama Kama krodha vijayate Dayeto Visayam Pumsa Sangha ste supajayate Sangha sanjayate kama Kama krodha vijayate. Anyone want to try? Dayeto Visayam Pumsam Sangha supajayate Sangha sanjayate kama Kama krodha vijayate. Anyone want? You want to try? Dayeto Visayam Pumsam Sangha se supajayate Sangha sanjayate kama Kama krodha vijayate. Very good. Anyone else? Okay. Word for word. You can turn to the word for word. Yeah. That's yeah. Dayata, while contemplating Visayan, sense objects, Pumsa, our person, Sangha, attachment, Tesu, in the sense objects, Upajayate, develops, Sangat, from attachment, Sanjayate, develops, Kama, desire, Kamat, from desire, Krodha, anger, Abhijayate, becomes manifest. Translation and proper by Srila Prabhupada. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. You can repeat after me. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. Srila Prabhupada's purport. One who is not Krishna conscious is subjected to material desires while contemplating the objects of the senses. The senses require real engagement, and if they are not engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, they will certainly seek engagement in the service of materialism. In the material world, everyone, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, to say nothing of other demigods in heavenly planets, is subjected to the influence of sense objects. And the only method to get out of this puzzle of material existence is to become Krishna conscious. Lord Shiva was deep in meditation, but when Parvati agitated him for sense pleasure, he agreed to the proposal, and as a result, Kartikeya was born. When Haridas Thakur was a young devotee of the Lord, he was similarly allured by the incarnation of Maya Devi, but Haridas easily passed the test because of his unalloyed devotion to Lord Krishna. As illustrated in the above-mentioned verse of Sri Yamunacharya, a sincere devotee of the Lord shuns all material sense enjoyment due to his higher taste for spiritual enjoyment in the service in the association of the Lord. That is the secret of success. One who is not therefore in Krishna consciousness, however powerful he may be in controlling senses by artificial repression, is sure ultimately to fail, for the slightest sort of sense pleasure will agitate him to gratify his desires. Oma Gyanti Mandasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chakshurmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhistam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnu Panaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Shunivadi Paschachayastayane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So there's a difference between munis and devotees. The munis are great mental speculators. They trying to work out things in their own way by doing austerities. And it takes them many births to come to Krishna. So you could say in modern time, Socrates was a muni, because he tried to work out about how he's not the body in his own way. And he came to that realization at some point. He had followers in Greece, and when they challenged him to take the hemlock poison, he took it. He told them, you cannot catch me. But the only thing is, he didn't realize who Krishna was. Whereas Prahlad Maharaj, he had full understanding of who is Krishna. So even though he was put through many difficulties, thrown off a cliff, thrown into the ocean, thrown on the wild elephants, thrown into the fire, given poisonous food, he wasn't affected because he knew that Krishna was protecting him. And there are examples of munis doing austerities, like Vishwamitra Muni. He did austerities for 60,000 years. The story behind that is he saw Vasishtha Muni. He had a Kamanadu cow, and with his Kamanadu cow, he looked after all his army when they came to his hermitage. He gave them nice facility, nice food, everything. And he was very impressed. He thought, you're a simple sage. How can you provide all this facility? And he explained, I have this Kamanadu cow who is a fish-filling cow. He can facilitate all the things I need. So Vishwamitra Muni, he tried to take the cow of Vasishtha Muni, but he failed in his attempt because from Vasishtha Muni's cow, Vasishtha Muni wasn't attached in that sense. He told his cow, it's up to you whether you want to stay with me or go with him. So you have to protect yourself. So the common cow from others produced many armies of soldiers. They came out and they fought with the soldiers of Vishwamitra and killed them all. So Vishwamitra was impressed. He thought, wow, what a thing, he's a Brahmana and he's got potency behind what he's doing. So I'm a Kshatriya, I'm a king. So I should become like him. So Vishwamitra gave up his kingdom, becoming a king, and he started doing austerities to become like Vasishtha Muni. But in the material world, when you do something for material gain, then Indra is there because he's frightened of his position. He's thinking that someone may take over his post as king of heaven. So Indra, he sent Menaka to test Vasishtha Muni, to test Vishwamitra Muni. And he did 60,000 years of austerities. This is in the Satyug. And then when Menaka came, she did anchor bells. Then that disturbed his austerities. Then he fell down. And from that, just contemplation of just seeing her, she's from the heavenly planets, Sakuntala was born. So we can see how, and on the other side, we see how Haridas Thakur, he was tested by Maya Devi. But he passed the test. He told Maya Devi, I've taken a vow to do 300,000 names, like 192 rounds. So once I finish my rounds, I'll enjoy with you. But by that time, she heard the holy name and she admitted that actually I came to test you. And since I've heard the holy name of Krishna, now I want to become your disciple. So Maya Devi became Haridas Thakur's disciple. And same thing happened with the prostitute. When Ramachandra Khan, he tried to make Haridas Thakur fall down. So he got one of the leading prostitutes at that time to try and make Haridas Thakur fall down. So she went for 3 days. Same thing happened. After the third day, she came to Haridas Thakur and said, actually, I tried to make you fall down. I was sent by Ramachandra Khan. But I admit my fault. Haridas Thakur said, actually, I could have walked away anyway. I had no reason to stay, but I stayed to deliver you from this condition. So Haridas Thakur made this prostitute into a pure devotee. So by that, she also came to the high platform of chanting so many holy names. So so in the pastimes of Haridas Thakur, he showed the importance of showing that the holy name is not different from Krishna. So there was one tax collector. Haridas Thakur was in the house of Raghunath Das Goswami. The father and uncle were there. And they were overseeing big lands of properties, and they were multi-billionaires. So this Gopal Chakravarti, he was very beautiful. He had very good looking everything. So when Haridas Thakur was explaining the glories of the holy name as being unlimited, not different from Krishna, very merciful, this Gopal Chakravarti, he challenged Haridas Thakur, saying that, how can you say like that? So you're saying what we are doing is not much austerity and rituals and sacrifices, and how can you say it's so simple to achieve liberation by chanting the holy name? So he challenged Haridas Thakur. He says, if what you're saying is not correct, within 3 days your nose will fall off. I'll cut your nose off. That's what he told Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur said, if it doesn't work in 3 days, I'll cut my own nose off. So within 3 days, this Gopal Chakravarti, his nose fell off. He had leprosy. His nose fell off. His fingers also melted. So, later on, he got delivered because he got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. He begged mercy from Haridas Thakur. But these examples shows the importance of the holy name is not different from Krishna. Prabhupada gives many examples on this instance, showing how Prabhupada says, he says, you can't chant water, 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 and your thirst will go. When you chant the holy name, you get reciprocation of Krishna. So, in spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, when Prabhupada was doing it, when he was doing it in India for 30 years, you could see many of the, even the big leaders in India were not supporting him. And even Prabhupada finally went to the families and he asked the families, can you give me one son? I'll make him a Brahmana. I'll train him up so he can help me spread this mission of Krishna consciousness. And they said, well, what's the benefit of a Brahmana? We have to look to the West. How is a Brahmana going to benefit the world? So India got influenced by Western education. So then Prabhupada concluded, because he tried to spread Krishna consciousness in India, he started a place in Jhansi, it didn't manifest. So then when he came to America, Prabhupada told the hippies about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were quite open to it. And they took to chanting Hare Krishna. So he says, by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, the difficult things become easy, and without Lord Chaitanya's mercy, the easy things become difficult. So because the hippies were open to the mercy of chanting the holy name and taking in the Bhagavad Gita philosophy, understanding how they are not the body, and understanding the potency of taking prasadam, food offered to Krishna, they became advanced devotees. Many of them joined and they became devotees. And they helped Srila Prabhupada spread the mission throughout the world. So Prabhupada concluded, he said, if the Americans become devotees, Indians will follow behind. So that's how he did it. And then, but in spreading Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada encountered many difficulties also, because India has, in all parts of the world, there is two sections of spiritualists. There's the impersonalists and the personalists. The impersonalists, they minimize God as a person. They say he's just energy. But Prabhupada explains this philosophy in one of his lectures. He says, this Mayavad philosophy is based on sense gratification. Because if people have to admit to a higher authority, then they can't do what they want to do. So, Prabhupada encountered some people like that who were Mayavadis in his time. And there was one famous Mayavadi in Bombay. His It's in the book, in the house he built, the Jew temple. There's a book about how the Jew temple manifested. There's a book on that. Mentioned in there how so Prabhupada said he's one life member's house, and the son, he was going to this some impersonalist group, I think Chinmay Mission or something. He's going to that group, and the leader of this group was giving all the impersonalist arguments. And the son of this life member was coming back to Prabhupada, giving arguments to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada would just defeat all the arguments. And finally, Prabhupada told him, he said, you ask this leader, can you read everyone's mind? Ask him, can you read your mind? He said, I can't do that. So he said, then I'll go to Prabhupada. And then he also told, Prabhupada also told him that I'm happy to come and challenge him. He said, it's okay, I don't want to be challenged. So Prabhupada says in the third canto Bhagavatam how even the yoga system where people do the Ashtanga yoga, they sit in a sitting posture, and in previous times people used to meditate on the Vishnu form in the heart, so they accepted Krishna as a person. So when someone follows that properly, then he will achieve the same goal as Bhakti Yoga. But the only difference is in Kali Yuga it's difficult to do that because lifespan is short, our memory is short, we are unfortunate, unlucky, misguided. So to do that system, one has to have a long lifespan. And the other thing is, one may not achieve perfection in one life. It could take another life to achieve perfection. So the Bhakti Yoga system is much easier because it's in this lifetime you can achieve perfection. So even before living in the body you can achieve perfection. And the situation we are now, this is called the Maha Kali Yuga. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna only comes once in a day of Brahma. So once in a Brahma is like, so this Kali Yuga is 432,000 years, so 5,000 years have passed. Dwapara Yuga is double that, 864,000 years. The Treta Yuga is 1,296,000 years. And the Satya Yuga is 1,728,000 years. So if you multiply that 1,000 times, it comes to 4.23 billion years. So Krishna and Lord Chaitanya only come within that one time. So in that sense, this is a Maha Kali Yuga, where special mercy is going out. So those who accept Lord Chaitanya's teachings, they get the special blessing of going to Goloka Vrindavan, which is not possible in other ages. Previous times people could enter up to Vaikuntha. So Lord Chaitanya's teachings start from the point of surrender to Krishna. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is explaining about his position as the Supreme Lord. And then, but Lord Chaitanya in his teachings, he's explaining how to be a devotee. So there's two aspects of Lord Chaitanya's teachings. The Chaitanya Bhagavat, it explains about Lord Chaitanya's opulent pastimes. So Lord Chaitanya showed his Mahaprakash Leela, the 21 hours of incarnations to his devotees. And the Chaitanya Charitamrita shows his loving relationship with devotees. So There's a pastime in Lord Chaitanya's pastime. There's one interesting pastime. There was one Brahmana. He was doing austerities, only taking milk. So in Lord Chaitanya's time, when he was doing his 24-hour kirtans at night in Shiva Sangam, night kirtans, he would not allow anyone who's not qualified to enter those kirtans. The doors used to be closed. So this Brahmana, he begged Shiva's Thakur, said, I'm a austere Brahmana, I just take milk. I want to see this kirtan. So Shiva's Thakur said, okay, you have to hide yourself behind the curtain. You have to hide yourself in the room behind the curtain. So Lord Chaitanya was doing his kirtan, the 20 night kirtans. Lord Chaitanya wasn't feeling the ecstasy. And he said, there's something wrong here, I can't understand. I'm not feeling ecstasy. So Shiva's Thakur said, well, there's one Brahmana, he only takes milk. He's very pure. I thought, he begged me to see, he wanted to see your kirtan. So Lord Chaitanya said, you think I can be attended just by drinking milk? Kick him out. So as this Brahmana was leaving, some say he was a yogi, some say Brahmana, but as he was leaving, he saw a little bit of the kirtan. And he was thinking what Lord Chaitanya said was correct. That just by doing austerity, you cannot achieve perfection. So then Lord Chaitanya called him back. He asked Shiva Thakur to call him back. Because he had a change of heart. So he accepted Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And Lord Chaitanya told him, don't be proud of your austerities. So this is the thing about controlling senses, we have to be humble. Jesus Christ says, the humble and meek can attain the kingdom of God, right? He says, so you have to be humble. And that comes when we associate with devotees. You can only be humble if you understand who you really are. The pride comes in when we're on the bodily platform. The bodily platform means the false ego platform. It's not your original position. It's a different. When one understands that he's not the body, he's soul, and the greatness of Krishna, then he can be humble. So, it doesn't matter what background you're from, because we are not the body, we soul. So if you just contemplate thinking of Krishna all the time, you get purified from your conditioned nature. And Krishna puts you in a better situation how to approach him. So there were instances of in Vrindavan, devotees doing a lot of austerities, but the purpose was to please Krishna. Some devotees went to the extent where they didn't even look after their body so much. And then Krishna showered mercy on them. If Krishna wants you to live, he'll shower mercy to give you the proper facility to live on. So, one such devotee, he lost his eyesight, and Krishna told Radharani, we should give mercy to him. He's not even thinking of us all the time, but look at his condition. So Krishna said to Radha, first Radharani said, how are you, Baba? How are you doing? And he said, well, I've lost my, I'm in separation of Radha and Krishna. I lost my mother and father. There's no point in me living anymore. So then Radharani put her hand on one of his eyes. The eyesight came back. Then Krishna came after and he put his hand on the one. Then his eyesight came back. When he saw the vision of Radha and Krishna, he left his body. So when we are taking darshan, Krishna is seeing us. If we saw Krishna in his spiritual form, we would leave our bodies. Because Krishna's form is spiritual. But for our benefit, he manifests in a deity form. If we have that correct understanding about, because Prabhupada gives the understanding how if Krishna is all powerful, then all the elements, Bhumi, Aporna, Kamabuddhi, Vasha, earth, water, fire, air, ether, these are all coming from his energies. So if he's all powerful, he can enter those energies. So even the deity is not different from Krishna. So for the beginners, the deity worship is important. Although Krishna is everywhere, but in the deity form, he's manifest in his personal form. So by praying to the deity, then you get mercy. And then in time when one reads scriptures, is associated with devotees, then in time one gets purity. And then from that, connection to Krishna becomes very, very, very close. So Prabhupada explained in one of his lectures, he said, in order to advance in Krishna consciousness, we have to avoid which is not permanent, accept which is permanent, avoid bad association. And in this way, our closeness to Krishna will come. So Krishna consciousness is science. It's a whole science how you approach. And it's all based on association. So Prabhupada simplified it in the sense that he simplified things to explain things in an easy way. The Shastras give elaboration in more detail. Prabhupada said, if you associate with a drunkard, you become a drunkard. If you associate with devotees, you become a devotee. So in modern times, people don't take association very seriously. They think it's okay to socialize. But as practicing devotees, we are very strict about our association, about associating with those who are advancing in spiritual life. That's the difference between a temple and outside. In temple, we are depending on blessings. Outside, you're just working on your karma, good and bad. So the temple is like a training ground, how to enter the spiritual world. Any comments or questions? Okay. That's given in one of the books. It's a book called Saints of Vraja. Saints of Vraja. There's a book called Saints of Vraja. It's given all the pastimes of these associates in Vrindavan, how they interacted with Krishna, and it's quite interesting how these pastimes, they show how if you accept Krishna as a person, you meditate on him, then he'll respond to you. Because Krishna doesn't want us to suffer, He puts us in a situation where we can come to him. So Prabhupada gives an example like, you don't say shine, you say sunshine, isn't it? So our connection to Krishna is very close, like that. So if you just think of Krishna all the time, easiest way is chanting the holy name. And come and associate with devotees, learn the prayers, and then you see how Krishna reveals things which are amazing, how he brings you closer to him. So, from Krishna's point of view, he's not attached to our body. That's like we are attached to our body, right? Krishna is not attached to our body. He wants our soul. That's what Jesus Christ said. He said, what's the use of gaining all the world if you lose your immortal soul? So, for those who do austerities in terms of approaching Krishna, he's very pleased. So, the foundation of austerity is sadhana, getting up early in the morning. Like we've done it here, 4:30 RT in the morning. 7 o'clock, you see the new outfits, like that. So that's the way of building up your austerities, attachment to Krishna. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Okay. What was that? Yeah, I think the main thing behind that is you should not contemplate it. The mind will think of things, but you have to shut it off. You shouldn't allow the mind to contemplate it too much. There's 3 stages. There's contemplation, attachment, then action, right? So, best to stop you at the contemplation stage. When attachment comes in, it's difficult. Then the action comes. So, as long as you're not meditating all the time, then don't take it seriously. Because even in a court of law, they have this thing where if someone didn't initially want to do something, but he was forced by circumstances, then the punishment is not there so much. But if someone contemplates something by doing something bad, then the punishment is more. So in Kali Yuga, it doesn't apply like that, that if something bad thought comes in other ages that would apply. In Kali Yuga, that doesn't apply. So as long as you're not contemplating all the time, don't worry about it. Yeah. Any other questions or comments? Okay. person. Well, the thing is, this is why we have prayers, you know. If you pray to the deities, they will help you to overcome the attachment. You should learn the prayers. Like, there's a prayer, and Prabhupada quotes it in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 1, chapter 1, text 102. Prabhupada says in the purport how Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have come to destroy the 5 kinds of ignorance of all living entities. So you can formulate that as a prayer. Help me overcome these 5 kinds of ignorances. And if you pray like that, then you'll overcome your attachment. There's a difference between low self-esteem and asking Krishna to pick you up. Low self-esteem means you're going down by your own. When you ask Krishna to pick you up, he'll pick you up in a way that will lift you on a higher platform. So this you have to learn from devotees. Devotees can teach you these things. That's why the association is there. You can learn from the devotees. But to get to that, you have to learn from the, So it's not like something you can investigate, but you have to learn it from the devotees. So in Prabhupada's example, he was doing like that, see. And Prabhupada was alone in Tittenhurst and different places. He used to sing bhajans of the acharyas. The bhajans you can get in the bookshop. They have songs of the acharyas. You can learn these bhajans. They're in English, written down now. English translation. And then if you sing these bhajans, you get the benefit of purification behind. Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, he explained, just like a king keeps his treasury hidden. So in the same way, the acharyas, they've written these bhajans, you know. And if you sing these bhajans, that treasury which they have hidden will be revealed to us. So it's all there for us. We just have to get to know how to sing the songs. It's all, we just have to learn it. That's it. It's all written down. Huh? No, see, these prayers are written for our benefit. Those who have written those bhajans, they're on a liberated platform. They're coming from the spiritual world. They didn't need them. They did it for our benefit. So they will help us to come to the spiritual platform. So in the morning program, we recite some of the bhajans, you know, spiritual master, Guru Puja. But there's other bhajans which refer to the holy name. You can pray to the holy name. Like that. A quick 2 minutes. This is the thing. This is the point. This is the thing. Association is important. Very important. Anyway, we can quickly put everything away. Only 2 minutes left.